Hello. Welcome to your audio copy of your assigned case files. The following recording is the property of the Institute for the Conservation of Pre- and Post-Human Entities. These particular recordings were created by and for the use of the Northeastern Branch facility staff and contains delicate information about the events that occur within its walls. Viewer discretion is not only advised, but mandatory. Alright. Hello. I'll assume this is one of the first case files you'll be listening to, due to its level of importance. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Margot Alexander, and I am currently the department head of record keeping here at the Northeastern Branch of the Institute for the Conservation of Pre- and Post-Human Entities. Hopefully, I'll be the department head for quite some time. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for the quality of this recording. Despite my best efforts, Madam Director still doesn't quite see the need for these, so I'm having to make do with what I have. That being said, I will be doing my best to upgrade the quality as soon as possible and make these recordings more accessible to staff. Alright, now that we've covered our bases, let's move on to more official business. I don't mean to, but I have always been known to ramble on a little bit, so I'm sorry for taking so long to get to it. Case file E-006-247. Danger class, Horseman. Description: Entity 006-247 appears as a severely emaciated humanoid female in approximately their early to mid-20s. Their features include dark skin, long dark hair, and slightly extended limbs, along with faded white tattoos on their jaw and upper arms. Their eyes are a deep blue and have been described as empty or hungry. Method of containment: Entity 006-247 is to be kept in a medium security humanoid containment cell filled with the basic amenities of human life. Entity 006-247 is generally docile and cooperative with Institute staff and has been given Level 2 security clearance and permission to work inside the facility and move about as they wish, barring restricted areas requiring Level 3 security clearance and above. They are to be fed whenever food is requested and treated with respect at all times. Any Institute staff found showing cruelty or disrespect towards Entity 006-247 is to be hastily removed from the premises, and apologies are to be made to Entity 006-247 by upper members of staff for their behavior. The entire facility is then to be monitored for a minimum of 14 days for any drops in temperature or sudden, uncharacteristic spoilage of food in the kitchens. Occasionally, Officer Jameson Park is to be allowed access to Entity 006-247. While he is in containment with the entity, all video surveillance and audio surveillance is to be cut off until he has left the containment area. Record of discovery: Entity 006-247 was found in July of 2000. The Institute received reports of a village that was experiencing an odd and devastating cold front. Surrounding villages were not affected, but when the officers arrived under the guise of meteorologists there to study the odd weather patterns, they were told multiple slightly varying versions of a local myth. Essentially, the myth boiled down to that of a woman, painfully thin with vacant eyes, who wanders among the villages, going house to house asking for food and shelter. If one is kind to the woman, gives her food, and cares for her, she will leave them in peace, and the village will be blessed with bountiful harvests. Alternatively, if one is cruel, denies the woman food, or mistreats her, or if she sees any great injustice within the place in which she's arrived, a harsh, false winter will befall them, killing their crops, and every person within the village will be doomed to a death of slow and painful starvation. When officers arrived at the village of they were met with a harsh chill and a thick carpet of frost and ice. despite the balmy tropical forest just outside the village's borders. As they traversed the land, they came across one after another sickly, emaciated bodies strewn across the ground, slumped against houses and doorsteps, some still with grass and mud clutched in their hands, as if digging it up and shoving it into their mouths just before their bodies gave in and became covered with frost. It took officers multiple hours to search the small village, stepping over frozen bodies far too emaciated to have only been starving for the week that outsiders had been reporting the strange winter. These bodies were not discriminatory. They were the bodies of men, women, children, animals. Every living creature inside this place had starved. One officer reported that despite the frost that should have been preserving most things in the village, the scent of death hung heavy in the air. The sickly, sweet smell of rotting vegetation and spoiled meat, mixed with the sharp, clean smell of ice and cold. It reportedly unsettled most of the officers, but due to their jobs, and being used to the idea of death and decay, they powered on. Eventually, after hours of sorting through bodies and hoping for the best, the officers report coming across a small, ramshackle building that seemed far untouched by the harsh winter around it, with smoke coming from the chimney and even a feeling of warmth leaving it. When they made their way inside, they came across Entity 006-247 sitting on the floor, wrapped in a blanket before a meager fire. The house was empty, though rotting food sat on the table as if somebody had left just before dinner. The following exchange was recorded on the officer's audio recording software. Now, unfortunately, I no longer have access to the audio of this encounter. Famine requested Entity 006-247 requested that it be removed and deleted as soon as she arrived. Due to the nature of this entity and the nature of her containment, we considered it best to delete the audio. So, unfortunately, you will all have to sit through me attempting to mimic my coworkers the best I can. Event log 006-247-1. Begin. Officer Heralds. Freeze! Don't move! 006-247. A brief pause. Have you any food or water to spare for a feeble woman? There is a quiet pause. Officer Park. Pardon, miss? 006-247. Have you any food or water for a feeble woman? Another pause, then a brief shuffling sound as Officer Park pulls a protein bar and his canteen out and hands them to the entity. Of course. Are you very hungry? We can bring you where there's more food. 006-247 quickly eats the food and gulps down the water as if horrifically parched. I am always hungry. Always hungry. The hunger never ceases nor relents. It gnaws and burrows into the bones as if alive. Tell me, sir, where would you take me? Where would you take me to release me from this hunger and release yourselves from the consequences? Officer Park. We work for an institute for the study and conservation of people and creatures like you. We can give you food and shelter, whatever you need, in return for your cooperation and allowing us to run some tests and study you. You'll be well cared for there. I promise. There is another pause, the sound of the wrapper of the protein bar crinkling, and 006-247 taking more gulps of water. I will come, for now, but I will leave when I please. I cannot be imprisoned and I cannot be erased. So, I will come, but you will treat me well. Officer Park. Yes, of course. Come now, miss. Let's get you more to eat. End log. Entity 006-247 was then brought back to the northeastern branch of the Institute's facilities, and has since been cooperative and docile, as well as getting along well enough with staff, provided they follow her rules. Yes, well, it's odd reading Miss Fammon's case file after so long. Well, that's what we call her around here. She seemed to respond much better to that than to 006-247. I've worked with her before. She's not as scary as this case file would lead you to believe. I mean, she's incredibly dangerous, yes, but when you think about it, she's really only dangerous to the cruel and the greedy. To those who aren't, she's not nice, but she's not terrible either. I mean, she sure is nice to Jameson. They're best friends, it seems like, but thank God he doesn't get a big head about it. I don't know. Seeing them talk to each other, it's hard to think that she's as powerful and dangerous as she is, but when she looks at you, makes eye contact, those eyes are hollow. There's nothing but hunger behind them. A horrible, gnawing hunger that looks like a black hole that just is planning to eat you up the second she gets a chance. But that's obviously not part of the official record. Just workplace gossip, you know. Now, don't go telling the director I've been talking about one of our most dangerous entities like that, or she'll have my head. I suppose this is it, then. I hope this information helps you to stay safe and well in your time in the facility. And remember, make sure you always have snacks on you. You don't want to be caught by Miss Famine without a granola bar in your pocket. That being said, this is it. Margot Alexander, Department Head of Records, signing off for today.